All right, we are adding rational expressions involving different quadratic denominators. And when we add fractions, we have to have a common denominator. So our first step is that we're going to factor out our denominators so we can see what we have in the denominator. So if I factor this first one here, 3x squared would be 3x and x. Since my end is negative, I know I'm going to have one plus and one minus. I have 1. I know it's going to be a 1 and a 1. So since I want a plus 2, I need to have a plus here and a minus there. 3x minus 1x is 2x in the middle. Factoring my second one, 3x and x. This time my end is a positive, so I know they're both going to be a minus and a minus. And again, factors a 1, 1, and 1. So one denominator has 3x plus 1. The other one has 3x minus 1. 3x minus 1 times x plus 1 and 3x minus 1 times x minus 1. So my common denominator, I have the 3x minus 1 and the x plus 1 from my first fraction. Here, I'm going to have the 3x minus 1 already in my denominator, so I don't need it again. And then I need the x minus 1. So I'm just simply going to make my equivalent fractions. Here I have those two factors. I still need the x minus 1 factor. Here I have this factor and this factor. I still need the x plus 1 factor. So basically I'm just going to use my distributive property there on the top of my fractions. Be careful if this is a minus, because that would make that a minus 2 instead of a plus 2. It's a plus, so I'm all right. I'm going to multiply that out. So 4 times x is 4x. 4 times a minus 1 is minus 4. Positive 2 times x is a plus 2x. Positive 2 times a positive 1 is a plus 2. I'm then going to just combine my like terms. So 4x plus 2x is 6x. Negative 4 plus 2 is a minus 2. And that's over my whole denominator. 3x minus 1, x plus 1, and x minus 1. Now, I might be done at that point, but I'm not sure. What I need to do is factor my numerator, if I can, to see if I have any common factors that I can cancel out. In this case, I can divide both of these by 2, and that leaves me 3x minus 1. So I can see there that the 3x minus 1 is common to the top and the bottom. I'm going to be able to cancel that out. So my answer is going to be 2 over x plus 1 and x minus 1. Now I don't need to FOIL that out. I can just leave it in factored form. That's going to be perfectly fine. And so that's what I'm going to enter in for my answer. Number 11, again, we're adding. We have to find our common denominator. So again, we're going to start by factoring. 3x and x. Since that's a plus on the end, we know our signs are the same, a negative and a negative. Factors of 21, I want to get 16. So I don't want to take 3 times 7. That's too big. I'd have to do the 7 here and the 3 here. Negative 9 minus 7 is negative 16 in the middle. Notice that that x minus 3 is in both of my denominators, so I don't need it more than once. So my common denominator is just going to be the 3x minus 7 and the x minus 3. So on that first fraction, I don't have to multiply that by anything. I could say it's times 1, but I'm just going to get the 2. The second fraction is missing the 3x minus 7. So if I multiply that by 1, I get 3x minus 7. Combining my like terms, then I get 3x minus 5 over my 3x minus 7 times x minus 3. And I can't factor that out, and I can't reduce it down any farther than that. So that's just going to be my answer. Number 12, again, we have to factor our denominators out so we can find out what our common denominator is. So factoring here, 3x and x. Since the end is negative, we've got 1 plus and 1 minus. I want to have a 7 and a 1, so I'm going to put those in first so I get my signs the right way this time. I want a minus 4, so I'd have to have a minus 7 and a plus 3. And that should give me the 3x squared minus 4x minus 7. On the other one, we've got 3x and x. Both of these are pluses. And so for 28, we would have 4 times 7. Whoops, not pluses. Both of those are minuses. Since the end is positive, they're both the same as the middle. I didn't even look to see what the middle is. They're both minuses. And so 4 and 7, I would have to have a minus 4 here and a 7 there, so that I get negative 12 minus 7, which is negative 19. So on this one, our common denominator is going to have the 3x plus, or 3x minus 7, the x plus 1, and the x minus 4. So on the first one here, we're going to multiply by the x minus 4. And on the second one, we have to multiply by the x plus 1. So we have 2x minus 8. Now this one has the minus sign, so we have to remember to put our parenthesis there. And 1 times x plus 1 is x plus 1. But then we have to distribute that, so it's going to be negative x minus 1 when we get rid of the parentheses. So 2x minus x is x. Negative 8 minus 1 is minus 9. And then our denominator, 3x minus 7, x plus 1, and x minus 4. And all of that then is going to go in for your answer.